All right, good morning. Dale and I, take a look at Dale. Dale's taking in the view there. But Dale and I are here at the trailhead, getting our stuff together, get this run in. It's pretty cool up here, so we may get the planned miles for today, which would be ideal. It's been the plan for a few weeks now, and we keep changing the plan, which is a big deal. Like I keep saying, things change. I know I'm sounding uncommitted when I keep talking like this, but honestly, it's just as long as we get the workout in each day, it could be adjusted as needed. Like I said, I'm not trying to be an ultra runner. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or a power lifter. I'm just trying to knock something hard out each day and feel good about it, or make myself feel good for the rest of the day. There really is no better feeling than after a good solid workout. And my routine right now is 6 days in the gym, run almost every single day, and then Saturday, the seventh day, is the long run day. So that's what we're doing right now. We're out here in the woods. This place has plenty of awesome trails. This is actually a section of the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, if you're not familiar. I ran this section of trail several times, so pretty familiar, but we pretty much just hit this trail right here and then take it north along the PCT, and then turn around when we feel like turning around. With it being cool out here, not as worried about Dale. We got plenty of water. We make stops every 3-4 miles or so, and take our water breaks or as needed. But we'll see how we feel once we get on the trail, and then make our decision there. All right, it's just an out and back, so we can decide whenever we want to turn around and just turn around and come back. All right, well, I'm gonna finish getting ready, and then I'll check in with you whenever I stop on the trail. Maybe try to get some good sunrise shots on the trail up there. Let's see if this helps at all. Oh, that just blooms you out, but yeah, obviously it's a beautiful sunrise, so we'll get some good sunrise video as we're running along the trail. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Look at that view there. That view is something. That's what we get to see this morning as the sun comes up. Dale kind of does his own thing. Just got to check on him every now and again. Wow, that view is hard to beat. Dale. Dale has the views. Has the views, buddy. So we just started, not even at the first mile yet, probably first couple 100 feet. But I just wanted to get a good shot of the sunrise. It's nice and chilly out, which is perfect. Although once that sun comes up is usually when it starts heating up pretty quick. So anyway, there's a good shot of the view that we get to enjoy this morning. Talk to you later. Not sure you can see it out there, but maybe now, but that's the Salton Sea out there. Pretty much a dead sea that has no wildlife in it anymore, I think, due to runoff from the chemicals from the farms or whatever the case may be. But still a beautiful view. We're approaching 1 mile mark. So we'll just call this a mile. This will be our mile check-in. Maybe see you at the next mile. There's that view again.
sort of milestone mileage marker right now, but just getting the sun cresting over the desert to the east. It's always a beautiful sight. Hope it kind of stays somewhat cool for us. I think the highs today are 76, so that's not too bad. But I like to be off the trail well before we hit those highs. Still going for the miles I got in my head, but obviously we'll adjust as safety dictates. All right, we are just past 2 miles. Starting to feel a little bit better. It's always that first mile, 2 miles that kind of takes a little getting warmed up before you feel good. It's warmed up a little bit, but I still think we're on track to complete what we're looking for. But we'll check in at the next mile. So we're at 3 miles now. It's nice because these early miles kind of just feel like they just get taken down off the board pretty quickly, especially on the trail. I feel like trail miles just disappear, even though, you know, the 3 miles I just ran here on the trail took about twice as long as the 3 miles I run on the road each day. But nonetheless, they're coming down. So at the next mile, we'll make a little pit stop, drink some water, get Dale some water, check in on Dale, although he's doing great. He's kind of born for this stuff, I feel like. And we don't have any sun hitting us now. We're behind the mountains, so most of this run, we should have safety of the mountains blocking the heat from us. So still got the eye on the prize, but we'll see you at mile 4 for water and rest. All right, that's 4 miles. Really feeling good. Contemplated for a second pushing past 4 miles in order to hold off on drinking water, but I'd rather stay ahead of it as opposed to trying to catch up on the hydration later. And I made the mistake of not drinking any water back at the truck before we left this morning. But again, feeling pretty good. Dale looks pretty good. Get him a nice full bowl of water. But try to keep him at 1 bowl of water for now, and then we'll save some for later. He's doing great, and it's not too hot out here. And with the miles I have in mind, he's come real close to that mark before, so I have a lot of faith that he'll be just fine. But keeping a close eye on him the whole time, obviously. He's very important to me, so don't want to injure him. But I feel like these trail runs are a little bit easier on him than the road runs, just because he's free to kind of run whatever pace he wants. He disappears in the woods and sniffs and pees on things, and then comes back when he's feeling good and ready. Cool him off a bit there. But looks like Dale's all set. I'm all set. We'll try to knock another 4 off before we stop for water again. I'll let you see my setup here real quick too. I just have this fanny pack, which has been great. I've got tons of miles on it, but it's slowly getting wore out. I think with all the sweat weakening the straps here. So I'm probably gonna be looking to get a vest in the not so distant future, especially if I plan on doing that big run next month up in the Sierras. Gonna want a way to hold plenty of water, even though there's plenty of water up there, but obviously filtering that water takes time off the clock, and we got a pretty quick turnaround plan for that run. All right, well, that's 4 miles. So my head was chopped off for most of that, but we'll see you at mile 5. All right, we are mile 5, so I'll let the cat out of the bag. We got about 1.55 miles left until we turn around. So shooting for a half marathon today. Be Dale's first half marathon. Look at him, he's killing it. He's doing great. I don't know if he saw him or not, but he is doing great. Yeah, so just crossed the 5 mile mark, slowly approaching the halfway point, turnaround point. We'll hit the turnaround point, run a couple more miles back, stop for our second water break, and then that should bring us probably about 4 miles from the start point, 4 or 5 miles from the start point. So scatter water breaks in there as needed. I think these mile check-ins are working out pretty good. Not too plentiful, not too annoying to keep breaking out the rabbit tail here, and then it kind of gives you an idea of the scenery that you run through when you're out here on the eastern side of these mountains, and you got nothing but desert to your right, and you run a lot of the trail inside of the woods and the brush. And then I can't remember where I heard it, but there's a podcast or a reel or something where somebody had talked about driving their motorcycle across country or something, and they just talk about how you don't feel in the car just these little changes in weather. So out here you just run into these little microclimates where it's chilly one second and then warm or even hot the next second, and this is all within about 100 yards of each other. You're feeling these fluctuations, so obviously you're not going to feel that through the lens, but nonetheless you're getting these views, or at least a view of my face. But I'll end this mile with a view, and then actually getting close to the next mile, so we'll check in again at the next mile. There's Dale taking in the view. What a view. How, buddy? Good view? All right, see you later. All right, mile 6. So got 0.5 miles left until we make the turnaround. I figure I'll let you look at the view this time instead of my face. Here at mile 6. Once again, everything's going great. Feeling good. We're at a section of trail right now that is actually probably one of my favorite sections of this trail. I usually park about a quarter mile back and hop on the trail here and just run north along the PCT until I feel like turning around. The longest I ever did on this section was 10 miles one way, 10 miles back, so a good 20 miler. At about mile 7, I ran into a big old fat rattlesnake who was friendly enough to, at the very least, shoot me a warning rattle and not bite me, because I'd already passed him by the time I heard the warning rattle, and he was coiled up right on the side of the trail. Big dude too, so I think if he wanted to hit me, he could have hit me, but thankfully he did not, especially because as you get further down this trail, cell service gets a little spotty, so getting hit by a rattlesnake out there is not ideal. All right, cool. Yeah, well, that's 6 miles. I'm not gonna break out the camera for the turnaround point, but we'll see you at mile 7, where we'll be on our way back. All right, see you later. All right, so we're at mile 7. You can see the beautiful desert scene I got behind me here, or off to my left shoulder. Just doing a quick check-in for this mile. Next mile we'll stop, get some water, and check back in. Mile 7, more than halfway there. All right, we're at mile 8. Just a quick check-in because we're gonna take our water break here on about 100 yards at Pioneer Crossing, little picnic area. All right, we'll see you at the rest. 9 miles. We're at 9 miles in just under 2 hours, so not a super quick pace, not breaking any records here. Just trying to get the miles knocked out. Took off the shirt back at the picnic area just because we were getting some cotton rubbing on a couple areas, 2 specific areas, but feels great out here. So got a nice breeze right now in the shade behind the mountain, and got just over 4 miles left. So we'll probably take one more break, maybe at the 11-ish mile mark. Let Dale get a last swig of water, and then that'll take us well past the finish line, which hopefully we cross at about the 2 hour and 40 minute mark, I think, is what we'll be looking at. So really not too much further to go. I'll see you at double digits, mile 10. But, all right, it's 10 miles. I said all right again. I start every video with all right. But that's 10 miles, so we're double digits. We are at 2 hours and 5 minutes, so really not too bad of a pace. Feeling good. Probably should have brought maybe a goo or two out here with me to get some calories in the body, but we'll see what time we finish. Kind of promised Dale that we get in and out after his first half marathon, so perhaps we will. I don't know, we'll see. This week anyway should probably get pretty close to back on track for a 100-mile month. I try to keep my months around 100 miles, although I hadn't hit 100 miles all year until last month. So hoping to get 2 months in a row of 100 miles, which that puts me in a good spot. I feel like it doesn't shed too much weight off of me, doesn't really take away from my strength, and overall feels about the right spot of where I want to be, right around 100 miles. That being said, we got about a 5K left, closer to 3 miles now, which is no big deal. Me and Dale do 3 miles almost every day. Granted, not after a 10-mile mountain run, but also, not that it's a secret, but amateur trail running is a lot of hiking and a little bit of running. And right now we're hiking, but we'll hit a downhill up here shortly, and it's about to get flat here, so probably take off and do a little bit of running, but stop talking so I could use my breath for that. All right, see you at mile 11, probably our next and last pit stop. We are at 11 miles. Stop the watch here for now, because we're at a rest stop, final rest stop. We're only 2 miles from the finish line, so honestly probably could have just kept pressing, but no need for it. Might as well just take a break, let Dale get a sip of water, chill in the shade for a minute, and then we'll be well on our way to finish wrapping this thing up. Dale has been amazing only 11 miles so far, but he's definitely got 13 miles in. I'm 13.1 to be exact, but he's doing great. I know I promised him a in and out treat, but we might be done too early for in and out, so I think we'll get Chick-fil-A or go to the local place, DKK, but either way we gotta get calories in this when we're done with this, so we'll figure out where exactly it's gonna be. Dale slurps through his water here, gets his last little break. He's a champ. I have the full confidence that he's gonna be able to do that 14 point something mile run up in the Sierras at the beginning of October. He's already done 10 miles up there, but that was an overnighter, so just 5 each day. But he knows the terrain at least. So between that and this run, this boy's a champ. I think he's got it. All right, we're gonna pack up, check in one more time, and then at mile 12, and then we'll see you back at the car for miles 13 and 13.1. There's 12 miles. We'll see you at mile 13. There's 13 miles and the view that goes with it. We are 0.1 miles away from the truck. I can see the truck. Dale is going to be successful in completing his first half marathon. There he is. But we will do the final check-in back at the truck. All right, see you guys later. All right, so we are done with our 13.2-ish miles. Back at the truck, getting Dale his water. About to drink some chocolate milk. If I can get it open. Then we are gonna head back to the civilization. So we did 13.2 miles. Took us, I think, 2 hours and what, 15 minutes? Or 50 minutes, sorry. All right, you had to watch me chug a bottle of chocolate milk there. Took us 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's about an hour and what, 20 minutes more than my fastest half marathon I've ever ran. But we're on the trail, so it's a little bit different. Dale did great. I think he's gonna be just fine up in the Sierras. I don't know what time it is. 9:23, so we may be able to get in and out. It may be open by the time we get back down there, like I promised you. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this one. Beautiful views, early morning, nice long run. Dale's feeling great, I'm feeling great. We'll see you later.